What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl, this Gemini, back again today with another video. And for today's video, I got the best settings for my controller as well as my console players out there. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alright, so starting off with the controller settings, I just want to put that out there. I do play with the pedals on the back, and I am on Xbox, so you can use this on PS5 as well. But let's get right into it. For the edit button layout, now I do play on tactical, so if you guys do not have the buttons, please play on tactical. This is the most important part. All it does really is change your sliding and crouching thing from the B button or the square button to the right thumbstick, the one that you use to aim with. So you don't have to take your thumb off of the aiming stick just to crouch or slide or whatever you want to do. So make sure you do play on tactical. If you have the pedals on the back, that's not really as important. I have everything else on off. Stick layout default. Controller vibration, have this on off. It took me a while to play with my controller vibration off. I was once a person that always had to have the controller vibration on. I like to feel that feedback, but since I've turned it off, my aim has gotten a lot better. So if you guys do play with your controller vibration on, try it. It might take a while to get used to it. Input dead zone. Now this is if you have stick drift on your controller, depending on how old it is and things like that. You might got stick drift. For me personally, I do. So I have my left stick man and my right stick man on 4 and 6. Now this is a good way to combat that stick drift. So all you got to do is test it out, see which ones works perfect. So when you move your controller, it doesn't drift like this or like that. But you want to keep the max, you want to keep that on 100 and your right stick max on 100. Left trigger, you want to keep that on 0 and your right trigger on 0. So that means the slightest bit of movement will trigger you to shoot. Now let's move over to the aiming tab. So for my stick sensitivity, my horizontal, I do move that, you look left and right a lot more than you would up and down. So for my horizontal, I have that on 7. You want to try like a 6, anywhere between, pro players play anywhere from 6 to 12. But I will suggest anything from 4 to 6 for a more casual player. But for my horizontal, I do have that on 7 and my vertical is a 6. Now again, this is personal preference. Play around, go into a bot lobby, see which sensitivity is right for you. But continue on, for the aim down sight sensitivity multiplayer, I do have this on a 0.75. So when I am aiming down sight, my aim won't shift too much off target. I didn't mess with the vertical aim assist multiplayer, that's standard. Now the aim response time, you could either go standard or dynamic. It's a slight difference between the two, honestly, but over the years we've always used dynamic, so that's what I play on. 100. All of this is standard. Now you do want your target aim assist. You do want to have this on. Your aim response time, a lot of people say that Black Ops got nerfed or something, but there's little difference between default and Black Ops. But Black Ops to me is just a little more snappier. It's a lot easier to control, so I do play on Black Ops. Now moving on to the gameplay, we have automatic tactical sprint. We do off, single tap, off, slide only. Okay, now this is a big thing. If you are a person that only likes to slide around in Modern Warfare 3, you don't dive or anything like that, you want to select slide only. Now what this does is eliminate any input delay when you go to slide, because it only slides. So whenever you press your slide button, whether that be a paddle or the right thumbstick, it will automatically slide just like that because there's no other option. So it absolutely removes the input delay. But if you do slide and you like to drop shot a lot, you want to go to tap slide or tap dive, whichever one you prioritize the most is the one you want to click. But if you only dive and you don't slide, click dive only. If you only slide and you don't dive, click slide only. It really is a game changer. Plunging on the water, free. The rest is kind of standard. Weapon mount, exit delay, you do want this on instant. Tactical stance activation, I got this aim down sight sprint, that's personal preference. Interact, for all my multiplayer players, you do want this on prioritize reload. If you do Warzone, you might want to tap to reload or tap to interact. It really depends. Armor play all, that really doesn't matter. And I think that's really it with the aiming and controller settings. Now let's move over to the graphics settings. Your on-demand texture streaming, I do have this on off. It just makes your game look that much better. World motion blur off, weapon motion blur off. All this does is really impact how you're able to see your enemies. If you have this on, your game will look a mess, honestly. So keep this off. Film grain, you want this at 0. Depth of field, you want this on off. It kind of creates a blurriness. Fidelity cast, I have this on, and I have this set to 100. Field of view, you want to keep this anywhere between, I say, 110 to 120. A lot of pros play on 120. For me personally, I like 115 the best. Again, anywhere from 110 to 120, you will be good. Camera movement, least inverted flashbangs. Now, if you don't like the white screen that takes over when you do get flashbang, you can move this to inverted, and what it do, instead of a white screen, you'll have an all black screen. It kind of helps your eyes. It really depends on you as a person. The safe area, what this does is it brings in your mini map and things like that. It could bring it in more, so you don't have to look all the way to the edge of your screen. You could kind of glance up, and if you don't know, you need to be looking at your mini map most of the game. You should be looking at your mini map. Every 1 to 2 seconds, your eyes should be glancing at your mini map. Now let's move over to the audio tab. For my audio mix, I do have this on headphone bass boost. For the volumes of everything, gameplay music, I have this off. Dialogue, I have this at 74. Effects, you want this at 100. Voice chat around 50. In the cinematic music, you want this on 0. Now, for a real important part in the audio settings, your mono audio, you want this on. What this does is it separates your left and right audio channels. So if somebody is coming up on your left and you hear footsteps, it will only play the sound in your left ear versus both of them, and you don't know which way the enemy is coming. Like if somebody's coming up from behind you and they're on your right, but you have mono audio off, it'll sound like it's coming from everywhere, so you don't know which direction to look. But if you have it on and somebody's coming from your right, it will only play in your right audio channel. That way you know to quickly look to your right. There's the enemy. So this is really kind of slept on, I would say, but you need to have your mono audio on. It's a total game changer. I know I say that a lot about all these settings, but it really is something that has helped me. I didn't know how effective it was until I tried it, and now can't nobody sneak up behind me because I can hear which side they're on. So I think it's perfect. If you don't use it or if you haven't tried it, it might take a little getting used to, because depending on which direction you're facing shows which audio, which audio channel you'll hear it on. But I really do suggest you play with that on. Now for the interface, this is another important part. Subtitles, I have that all that on off, default, whatever. Now color customization, I do have my custom, this right here, the filter. You want to put this on filter 2. This right here, filter 2, makes everything more vibrant. So you don't have to add filters to your monitor or change your monitor settings or anything just to see. It makes it look a lot better. And for the filter color target, you want this on both, and the intensity, you want this on 100 for both of them. And that will be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, please hit the subscribe button, tap the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. I try to upload daily from now on. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button, comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.